Hello everyone, and welcome to my vitamin D walk talk. Today I actually am walking, so we will see how well this goes because I'm holding on to a tripod as I'm doing this and it's not as comfortable, but I've got an hour to go for a walk right now. And trying to make sure I get good use of my time because I have a meeting, so I can't really stop at the park and have a nice longer one like I normally do. But I wanted to pop on today because I have a lot to share about my weekends. But to start, I am getting 42 IUs a minute of vitamin D. It's starting to get lower and lower as the winter approaches, but I'm still getting vitamin D, still getting my steps. It's a beautiful day. I think it's in the 70s or so today. It's amazing. October, you guys, is my favorite month in Southern California because it's really cool and crisp in the morning and at nights, but it's hot and really nice and sunny during the day. So it's perfect beach weather, but it's also really cool, like cozy weather. It's really nice. So I love October out here. It is my favorite month. But over the weekend, I actually spent some time learning about a lot of stuff. I spent an entire day on Saturday from 8 o'clock till 7 o'clock at night at the Redefining Health, a Pet Wellness Expo. So there was about 6 different holistic veterinarians from all over the world. Actually, we had some people from Canada come in and they were talking about health and longevity and kind of what they do and how they treat their animals and just kind of like getting a little bit more educated about animals. And it was really interesting because I didn't learn anything like health-wise at all as far as like really just, oh my gosh, like duh, like that's why animals are so sick. No, I knew this because animals are so similar to people that it's basically the same. Everything that they were talking about as far as detoxification and the environmental factors that make animals sick, it's the same thing I do with my clients. It's the same process, you know? Test, don't guess. Always go in and do some testing, figure out what's really going on. And typically most of the time there's 2 causes of diseases, guys, and they said the same things that I tell everyone: toxicity or deficiencies. So there's something going on. So you got to get in there and test. So one of the best things about it was I had a VIP ticket. So I got front row, and at lunchtime I got to sit with the speakers and actually ask them questions. So I got to sit with these top veterinarians that are like number 1 in their field for what they do because they're so amazing. And I got to talk to them, which was really cool. So I was asking them questions all about my cat because we have behavior problems, we have aggression problems. I think she's really lonely. I don't really know. She hasn't been able to get back on the raw food. I'm trying to get her back onto raw meat, but every time we do that, she throws up. So I'm kind of trying to work on it, and they had suggested that definitely gut test her, definitely stool gut test her, and then I can also look at doing nutrient testing. So they recommended a couple different companies that they use themselves to actually do that. So it's so cool because I'm like, I have these resources now that are amazing. And something else that they recommend was to get into CBD. So I had never really tried it. I know a lot about CBD. I know a lot about THC. I just hadn't ever really tried it with my animal, and I think it's the time. So I wasn't sure about like companies that would be good. So I found 2 brands that are freaking like recommended by vets, and I actually ended up buying one of the brands there. I've been now giving her CBD for about a day, so hopefully I start to notice her calming down and a little bit different. But he said it's going to take probably like 2 or 3 weeks for me to really notice any difference with the CBD. I'm starting her off like really low right now on these doses. I found another company that makes something a little bit stronger, so I might grab that one. But really exciting. But one of the biggest takeaways I think I had is a lot of animals have allergies. I think they even have the word allergies in quotes on up in this thing. And allergies, most of the time, you know, not always, are tied to low stomach acid. So not being able to actually digest your food. So what does that mean? So basically the food goes into our stomach, and our acid, we have a stomach acid in there. It's a low pH. It's going to go in there and break up your food. But if you don't have enough stomach acid, it can't break up those proteins. So it kind of leaves them like, it needs to break them into amino acids. So once it reaches your small intestine, which is next after your stomach, it needs to be broken down into those amino acids. But this isn't happening. So when you have low stomach acid, so these bigger proteins are getting into the stomach acid or the small intestine, and the body's like, hey, what is this? This is an amino acid. This is a foreign thing. So it's starting to kind of attack those and almost create autoimmune type conditions. So when you see pets with allergies, you typically will see the autoimmune kind of come with it as well. My best friend, the same thing with her. I actually had a call with her yesterday and it was like, okay, get your pen out and you need to write all this stuff down. And so I'm like telling her everything I learned, all the doctors that she needs to talk to. But yeah, it's really interesting. I never really I did know allergies are very, very tied to the gut. Humans and pets. Very, very, very tied to the gut. So you need to go and you need to look at that gut. Always. That's what I do too. So I'm like, I think it kind of just really reiterated the fact that like we're so similar, you know, and it's like, I know what to do. Go back to basics. Basics are very interesting. I did learn that pets, which is interesting, I didn't know this at all, pets do not absorb vitamin D like we do. They don't absorb it through their skin. They can't get it like we can. We have to get it through the sun, and it goes in through our skin and actually creates vitamin D in our body. It doesn't work like that for animals. They have to get it through their diet. So they do eat the foods, the meats, the livers, the organs. They do eat those foods that you can get the vitamin D in, the eggs, all that kind of stuff you can get the vitamin D in. But humans, you don't have to eat that kind of stuff because you can get it through the sun, and you should be getting it through the sun. So that was kind of a little eye-opening for me as well. I think one of the things, which I kind of knew a lot about this, but I don't get into prescriptions because my cat's pretty healthy and there's no way in hell that I would ever give her a prescription. So there was a whole doctor that came up, and she's a very, very well-respected doctor. Everyone in the audience like knew who she was, which I didn't really know who she was, but now I do, and I have all of her information. I'm going to be joining some of her webinars in the future. But her presentation was the 10 most dangerous prescribed prescription drugs, and they went over like the heart medications and the flea medications and like the ibuprofens and steroids and those kind of things, and like even Benadryl, antihistamines, those type things that are given to our dogs. They're not actually helping. Like they're definitely creating a whole slew of other issues. So I was talking about all the other things that could happen, like the kidney issues, the liver issues, skin issues, hydration. There's a lot of things that these medications are actually screwing up. And I mean, our pets are getting sick, you guys. Our pets are getting sicker and sicker and sicker. And it's like, we've had a 17% increase in our pets getting cancer. Was it 1 in 3 dogs are gonna have cancer? Like, this is insane. And it's because most of the time we're not feeding them the proper food. We're feeding them horrible food, like high carb crap food that's loaded with pesticides, and this water that we're probably giving them tap water, and it's full of just heavy metals. And it's like, no wonder our pets are sick, because we're sick. Everybody's sick. If you eat that way, you're gonna be sick. So it was just very fascinating to me that, okay, we're all connected. It's all the same. And I mean, they even had a canine herbalist there that was talking about different herbs that you can use for your canine to kind of help assist the body in what it's supposed to do, you know, detox the body, do what it should do. And yes, you can detox animals. A lot easier to detox a dog than a cat, but I'm not jumping into detoxing my cat anytime soon. I think I'm gonna maybe try it with a dog first, but I'm interested. I really, really like pet health. I really like pet nutrition. Hopefully one day, and then within the next year, I'm gonna get a dog. But one of my big questions I wanted to ask the vets was all about EMF and EMF exposure and what can I do to help my cat and all this. And they really didn't have a great answer for me. They think that the mitigation devices, they do help to an extent, but they're just kind of basically like, you don't need to live there. And I've kind of felt this heavy too. So at the end of this year in June or July, I believe I'm going to be moving out of that location that I've been in for 7 years, but it's heavy. It's right by the airport. It's heavy EMF. I can feel it. I can really notice it. I know my cat's probably not doing well with it. They're putting a hospital in across the street from me and all this other stuff. So I'm just like, I need to get out of this area with all of this heavy equipment and all of the Wi-Fi, because I'm in like a business district. So there's tons of offices, tons of Wi-Fi, tons of 5G. I'm just like, yeah, I gotta find somewhere else. So I'm gonna try to find somewhere, but I'm in Orange County. Where can I go? Like, I'm really close to LA. I mean, I'm not going to be living in the country. I'm not going to leave Orange County. So I'll just find somewhere that's less. I'm going to get a mitigation device. They think I do need to have a device so I can test and see the levels and stuff. They did actually mention like the bed canopies. So where you basically would have like a canopy over your bed, and it's kind of like a mosquito net type thing. You basically have these poles that you stick into the ground and you ground yourself. And they said that really, really works. But that's not going to help my cat during the day when I'm not there. So I don't know. More to come on the EMF because I'm still doing a lot of research. I had ordered some orgonite pyramids. I'm going to a gym show soon, so there's a lot kind of coming, working on that kind of stuff because it's fun. It's a lot of stuff to do. I definitely probably need to have a cell phone cover on my phone, but lots of stuff. So I am rambling a little bit, and I learned a lot this weekend. I actually went and typed up a whole document about everything I learned because I wanted to save all my notes and all of the references and all the stuff. So if you guys have any pet questions, any pet issues, you want to know where to find a holistic vet, you want to know what are some of the medications that we shouldn't be giving our vet, you want to know some of the references to these holistic vets that I listen to talk, maybe some of the books that I heard about. I think one of them was like what your vet doesn't want you to know or something like that. So there is a lot of stuff. If you guys want any of that information, go to my website, fill out the form, or you can go to my Instagram. My Instagram is Vegan Fitness Barbie. You can find me on the Instagram, and you can also send me a message there and I will reach out to you. But you can also go on my website, I'll link it in this video, and you can fill out the form. And I also offer holistic lifestyle coaching. I offer detoxification services. I offer a functional blood work look at your blood work. So if your doctor tells you that, oh yeah, everything looks normal, but you feel like crap, I can look deeper. I can look at that from a functional medicine perspective, and we can go in and look at the titer ranges and say, all right, is there parasites? Is there mold? Is there heavy metals? Like, what's going on? Is there a chronic virus? Is there an acute virus? Like, what's going on? Bacteria? We can kind of dig in a lot deeper. I can do that. I also do iridology, so I can read your eyes. So any of these kind of things, if you want to work with me, I would love to connect. Reach out, guys. Have a fantastic day.